What is up, everybody? OGP back with you for another video. Today we're going to talk Christmas movies, horror and non-horror Christmas movies. So I'll show you some of the ones that I've got, talk about some of the ones I don't have and need to get, and kind of go over some of my favorites. Now, it's hard for me to pick a favorite, but show you some of the ones that are more of my favorites. And we'll talk about the non-horror movie Christmas titles first. And first of all, show you this guy right here. It's been on my shelf for a while, so if you've seen other videos, you may have seen this sitting back there. But this is really cool. Comes with, and now unfortunately it's just a DVD, but it's got a nice slipcover with it. It's got these really cool cookie cutter things, an apron here, and then there's a book in there about it as well. But I don't want to completely unbox it and take all the time in the world to do that. But this is really cool. Get that lid on the right. Addition to the collection right here that we always pull out, put on display every Christmas season. And these are in no random order, although this one here, I was looking on Rotten Tomatoes to see if there was movies that I had forgotten about or whatever. It was cool to know that this one here, which is one of my wife's favorites, is the #1 top rated on Rotten Tomatoes for Christmas movies. And that includes horror and non-horror, but that is It's a Wonderful Life. So, you know, this is like the old school, like 30s that this came out? I want to say it's like 1934, something like really, really old. But I'm going to have to upgrade this to a Blu-ray or a 4K if they have it here at some point. But it's a nice collector's edition. And it is rated #1. So if you haven't ever seen, you know, and I know a lot of young people might not be checking out some of the older stuff, but this is a cool, especially like, you know, for, you know, like my wife. So if you're not single and you want to watch something kind of that, you know, your lady might be into, this is definitely a good Christmas movie here. And it's one that, you know, like usually once a year we're popping in. Then we've got the Polar Express, and this is one that I probably need to upgrade to. We got a couple years ago Walmart when they had this particular slipcover. But this was kind of a cool looking cover. I do appreciate like the original artwork a little more, but it was unique. But it's definitely one that at some point I'll need to upgrade. But Polar Express, Tom Hanks, gotta love it. That's a Christmas classic every year that's going on. We got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, of course, and then Rudolph the Island of Misfits, the sequel here to this one. Not as good, but still, you know, being that it's kind of like this one was like a childhood classic. Every year we're watching this, and Charlie Brown, some of the others. You know, it's like, well, you got this, might as well watch this too. And you can see this is not even open because usually you can find these streaming somewhere on some platform. Christmas Vacation, and this is a movie that I loved so much and watched way too much. I kind of got burnt out on, and then like for a few years was like, you know what, we're just gonna skip over that one. But it's been a while, so maybe I'll pop this one in again here. So, but this one's cool because it has this little like Christmas ornament on here you could take off and put on the tree if you wanted. I just kind of left it on the disc itself there. And then of course, yes, we've got the Charlie Brown, and now all these Charlie Brown, like the Charlie Brown, Rudolph, Frosty, all those cartoons, just definite like huge childhood memories. So these are definitely some must-do kind of like favorites that I have to watch every year here, the Charlie Brown cartoons. Christmas with the Cranks, I'd never seen it until last year, and this is hysterical. If you've never seen this one, which I, like, shame on me for not having watched it, but this is one that I definitely need to upgrade at some point. I'm guessing they've got an upgrade, but you're talking Tim Allen and Dan Aykroyd, like, dude, this is absolutely hysterical. He's, you know, he's like always decorating his house, and the whole neighborhood's decorating. But this year they decide they're going to take a trip to like the Bahamas or something like that. So they're not decorating. They're not doing Christmas at all because their daughter's off to college. And then the whole neighborhood kind of revolts against them. And then last minute, the daughter's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to come back home for Christmas anyways. So it's like, oh, crap. And like the scramble to get the house decorated. And while we're fighting with the neighbors and stuff too. It is just absolutely hysterical. So definitely Christmas with the Cranks is definitely one of my favorites. Charlie Brown, Christmas Tales. So this is another one that came out while after the original. And it's like, I think if I remember right, it's a few short stories in here. Just not as good as the originals, but still kind of fun to watch if you're in the spirit, you know. This one here is another one that I think maybe I saw this a year or two ago. I can't remember which, but this is absolutely hysterical. Get Santa, and this copy I got here is actually for wrong region. I think it's region 2 or whatever. Yeah, it is region 2. So if you're gonna look for this, I could not find it region 1. So if you don't have a region free player, make sure you try and find a region 1 or region free copy. But now this, we did stream it, so you can find it out there available to stream, and it is absolutely hysterical. This, as much as Christmas with the Cranks, will make you just laugh your ass off. It is a very, very fun Christmas movie, and this is definitely one of my favorites too. And then this one, check this out, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I haven't watched this in probably 30-something years. This is one that I remember from my childhood, but I was walking through like a Family Dollar or something, saw it sitting there for $5, and I was like, no way. I hadn't even thought about this title, but I was thumbing through their movies and saw this, and I'm just like, what? Totally jogged my memory, and I was like, you know what, I got to get that. That's one that I will be watching this season, so definitely recommend that if you see this at, you know, for the right price at one of your cheap stores or something, definitely pick it up. But maybe I'll talk next year a little bit more about it after I jog my memory and actually watch it. But definitely one of the childhood memory movies there. Or I don't think it's a full movie. It might be 53 minutes. So, and then you got Elf, which is a very hysterical movie. It's good and it's funny, but it not to knock it at all, but it's just not one of my favorites, and I think maybe that's just because it's been like played so much. It's usually one we check out at least once a year. I just picked this up, but Home Alone, yes, you got to watch that, especially like if you've ever been to New York at Christmas time. Like this sequel right here, this is really cool. So this one, you know, obviously he was at home, he's, you know, putting all the booby traps and everything around their house. This one, he's in New York staying at the hotel and then booby trapping that other building or whatever it was, like somebody's house or something he's doing all the booby traps in. But anyways, these are two classics, definitely movies you want to watch around Christmas time every year. This one probably a better movie. This one I like more because of the New York element, because I just love Christmas time in New York. You cannot beat it. You just can't. The only copy of How the Grinch Stole Christmas that you need is the Dr. Seuss, the original cartoon edition. And now, I mean, you could probably get it on Blu-ray or maybe even 4K by now, but the one with Jim Carrey was great. The more recent one, okay, but this is the classic. This is the cartoon that you need to see every single year. So definitely one that I'm not worried about getting the other copies. If I find them for the right price, then I will. This, do we even need to talk about this? This is one of the greatest Halloween and Christmas movies of all time. Just brilliant. And the cool thing about this is we actually bought this years and years ago at Disneyland, and that was before we even ever had a Blu-ray player or anything. So this, you know, is the DVD, but it's, you know, like a nice slipcover and everything, and being the fact that we got this at Disneyland, and it looks pretty damn good. So I don't know, maybe someday I'll upgrade it, but right now I'm pretty happy with this. But man, this is one that you have to watch. I usually watch it around Halloween, so I don't usually watch it again at Christmas. But this is definitely one of the best Christmas movies of all time. That is for sure. And then I think this is the Fluffy Gamers' favorite Christmas movie. And I seem to remember that Wet One likes this movie a lot as well. But Jingle All The Way, which is another funny Christmas movie. To me, it's not quite on the level as Christmas with the Cranks or Get Santa. But this is definitely a funny one that is definitely worth popping in if you've never seen. I enjoy that one. And this one here, more of for like the ladies and the kids. Prancer, and that's where the one reindeer gets lost and the little girl saves it, and they got to get it back to Santa. And it's kind of fun. It's a good one. I can sit through it, but you know, it's MGM, but it feels a little more Hallmark Channel-ish. But still a fun movie that if it's on and the wife's watching or whatever, I'm sitting through it, no problem. And then Shrek the Halls, and honestly, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not a huge Shrek the Hall. You know, I'm not a huge Shrek fan. Don't have a problem with Shrek. Just never really was my cup of tea. But this is a fun Christmas movie to put in to check out. You know, once a year here for Shrek the Halls. So there's that. And then the trilogy here, which we picked up on Blu-ray a while back. Santa Claus 2, and 3. And the first one, probably the best. You know, best, second best, and then what's going on here? What's going on here? This is like one that we always watch every single year, at least like 1 and 2. Just Tim Allen is just brilliant as a Santa Claus, and just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Definitely one of my top Christmas movies and franchises. And so we'll talk about some of the Christmas movies that I don't own. Miracle on 34th Street, like the classic one, which is kind of cool because Natalie Wood was a little girl in Miracle on 34th Street. So that's kind of cool. Also, another reason why I'm having trouble like selling it, like doesn't fit my collection, but it's a reason I'm having trouble selling it because of the story, you know, her story, the tragedy of her life. But Miracle on 34th Street, that's a great one. That's a classic. You got to go to the old black and white one and watch the original. And then there's Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Those are fun. Not the greatest ever, but kind of fun movies. Scrooged, and I can't believe that I don't have Scrooged. Looking through my collection, that's a great one. That's like one that like you really should have. Bill Murray was excellent in that, and the cast is great too. And I don't own a copy of Frosty the Snowman or Christmas Carol or White Christmas, which I was kind of surprised on White Christmas, being that I've got some of the other classics here. Bad Santa, not really a big fan of Bad or Badder Santa, but you know, that's, and I don't know if that falls in the horror category or what, but it's not really in the family category, but a little different. Christmas in Connecticut was another good one. It's a classic. Got to be willing to watch the classic movies. And Gremlins. Can you believe it? Apparently, I don't own a copy of Gremlins. I think I did, and maybe I lent it to somebody a while back, and I never got it back. So that's it for the like family, non-horror type Christmas movies. Now we're going to dive into the horror or scary or not so little kid friendly Christmas movies. And I guess in that list, the Bad Santa, Badder Santa kind of should have been in that category a little more, but it's all right, you know. But anyways, this movie right here, the first one I'm going to talk about, is also probably in that Badder category, Badder Santa category, and that's the Die Hard movie here. And so this was cool. Walmart put out this with the cool slipcover a while back. Inside, you know, it's the original artwork, but the cool slipcover for the Christmas holiday season. And this is a special place in my heart because this was actually a gift that I had bought for my dad a few years ago, just because he loves the Die Hard movies, and every year would always joke about how Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So I bought this for him, and he never needed to open it because, you know, he was like the king of like streaming platforms and stuff. So, you know, he would always see it, you know, online. But anyway, so this is something that you know, I kind of special place in my heart for this particular copy of this movie right here, because it did belong to my dad. So, and you know, if you didn't know, he passed away last year, just over a year ago. So, so it's kind of cool for me to have that. And so let's talk scary movies now. And before we get into the Christmas stuff, we'll talk Hanukkah here. You know, it's that time of year, but this is one of the last movies that, you know, our man, let's see, well, I don't know if that's supposed to be his silhouette, but there he is, but Sid Haig right there. One of the last movies that he did, PJ Souls is in this. And there's, I mean, it's got a pretty nice cast. I was told by someone who will remain nameless, because they also have a YouTube channel, that this was not that good and I shouldn't buy it. But I spent the $30 on it just to have it because, or maybe it was $20. But anyways, I overpaid for it. But I am just a huge fan of Sid Haig, and I wanted to get it. And especially, I think I picked this up like shortly after he passed away. And it was just something that I wanted to have for my collection because of that. And knowing it was one of the last movies he did. But unfortunately, my man was right. It's not a great movie. Sid Haig is not in it the whole time. You know, he was older. He was sick for the same reasons he wasn't in 3 from Hell that much, just because, you know, his health wasn't allowing him to do too much. So, you know, he's in, like, I think the beginning, and if I remember right, the end of the movie, kind of like a wraparound. But it was tough to get through, which was a bummer. And it has nothing to do with, the reason it was tough to get through has nothing to do with the fact it's like a Hanukkah movie or Jewish or anything. It was just like a tough story. So, wish it was written a little bit better. Everything else with it would have been fine, but the story was like, ugh. So anyways, Hanukkah, I've got it. It's something that I treasure because of getting to meet Sid Haig, you know, about 5-6 months before he passed away, and spent some time talking to him. And he was telling me specifically about this movie. Fluffy was there with me. You know, we were sitting there talking movies with him, and he was telling us about this movie and how he thought it was so cool because it was like the first all-Jewish, like, produced, directed, everything, every aspect of it was done by Jewish folks. And so he was so proud of that. So it's kind of cool for me to have this. Definitely something that I'll never get rid of.
And I got the film called Hanukkah,
That's me too.
which is going to be, they're saying it's the first Jewish-based slasher film.
Really?
Yeah, and they're opening it at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, December 1st, which is the first day of Hanukkah.
Wow. A honorable mention that, I mean, you can go find if you want, but this is Aximus II. It's a short film that I was actually in. I play a business owner in this who I'm interviewed by the news kind of quickly. Anyways, this is a guy, John Ward, made a couple of these, and this is the second one. And you can see the Santa Claus here. That's actually Drew Marvick, the creator, director, producer, probably writer. I don't know. He basically is the man responsible for the Pool Party Massacre movie, which was a fun horror movie. This also has, if you can see back there, it's got Tommy Vegas in it. She's an amazing, wonderful actor. Ben Stober, a few other folks that are just really great people, great actors. And John, this is on the set of this movie is where I met my great friend Matt, Mr. Matt out there in Vegas, who we just shot with our other big homeboy Justin. We just shot our movie over the summer they're editing right now and working on post-production on it. So would have never known those guys if it hadn't been for this. So eternally grateful to be a part of this cast and producer of this film right here. So that was cool. It's a short film. You can find it out there if you're interested in seeing it. Aximus, A-X-E-M-A-S 2. So speaking of Xmas, how about Deadly Xmas? Caesar and Otto's Deadly Xmas with Linnea Quigley and Brink Stevens, Felissa Rose. You got this is like Scream Queen galore right here. Oh yeah, if you're looking for Christmas horror cheesy slasher, boom, there you go. And then we got Black Christmas right here. This is cool. Got the Blockbuster exclusive right here. So, you know, I mean, maybe I'll upgrade this someday, but I'll never get rid of this one just because of the Blockbuster exclusive. That's a really cool one to have. And then we got Krampus. And this one, as you can see, it's still sealed. I've yet to watch this. You got Krampus, The Reckoning, and I'm just... I'm a little leery because I haven't heard great things. But this is one that I'll probably pop in this year and check out and let you guys know. But this was a Dollar Tree find a while back, so I got this for $1. So even if it does stink, no biggie. And then Passion of the Christ. This one, you might be going like, Passion of the Christ, why is that in a horror movie? Like, if you look at it and like the contents of what's going on in there, it's kind of creepy. Although it's definitely one that, you know, you can watch with the family and stuff, as long as you're, you know, willing to explain to the kids what's going on if the kids are really young, or if they don't understand. But the Passion of the Christ, this, like, who knew Mel Gibson would go on his like anti-Semitic rant like after making this? But I guess it makes a little sense. But anyways, this is, you know, by a lot of people regarded as like one of the greatest Christmas movies ever, or the greatest stories of Christ ever. And so, you know, it's definitely something that I have to have in the collection. But again, this is not even open. You can stream it anywhere. Maybe someday I'll upgrade it, but knowing it's on TV all over the place every year, like, you know, I haven't even needed to pop it open. But Jim Caviezel, who I loved in Person of Interest. Jim Caviezel was in Person of Interest, and that I loved that show. Absolutely loved it. Such a great show. Kind of unique as far as crime drama shows go, but really liked that one. I was disappointed when it ended, but I would rather that it ended instead of getting stupid. So, but anyways, love him as an actor, and love him, you know, as the Christ here in The Passion of the Christ. And then we've got good old Silent Night right there. Malcolm McDowell, you know, like, basically you can stop right there. Malcolm McDowell's in it, I'm watching it. But Silent Night you got right there. And then, of course, Silent Night, Deadly Night. You got the double feature here, 1 and 2. I'm hearing discs moving. I'm going to make sure they're not... Okay, no, it's just that sliding. I want to make sure they weren't like off the rails here, getting all scratched up or anything. This is one that I picked up recently, and I don't know if it's actually Christmas or not. So if you guys know, you can let me know. But this is one that I'll be watching very soon. I just haven't got around to it yet. And this is from 1973, and that is Silent Night, Bloody Night. Sounds Christmassy. Doesn't have anything about Christmas on it. It does say that it's... An escaped lunatic terrorizes the people of a small New England town, especially those in an old mansion that once housed a mental institution. So it says, do not watch alone. So scary. But doesn't say anything about Christmas, and there's nothing Christmassy in the artwork at all. But the name, So anyways, I'm going to check that out and find out if it is Christmassy. So I got a couple to report back to you on next year when we do this again. But anyways, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. That's all basically the Christmas movies that I'm all about. What did I forget? Because I know there's some out there that I didn't mention. What did I forget? Let me know down below what I need to add to my collection that I haven't mentioned that I'm already looking for. And what's your favorite Christmas movies? Let me know down below, and if you would, please, and give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that. Stay safe. You know, enjoy your families. Hopefully, you get to spend some family time. You know, take care of each other, love one another. You never know how long you're going to have everybody in your life, so you got to cherish those moments. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody out there. Take it easy. See you next time.